Jagannath, how are you doing?
Very well.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
Going to preach at a university.
Yeah, we're gonna go preach to some young people. We got some prasadam and stuff like that, and yeah, we're just gonna give it to them, you know. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
We need to get the stuff.
I kind of grew up an atheist, you know, kind of ignorant, and a lot of people in England are very disconnected from God, you could say. And it wasn't until 4 years ago I had a kind of spiritual experience out of nowhere where I kind of left my body, and that was a big introduction into the world of like metaphysics and spirituality. And from then I was really like looking for answers. However, living in London without parental guidance, I've kind of went down a bad path of like materialism and crime, and I've spent some time in prison and stuff like that. I've been to a lot of prisons in England and stuff like that, and I ended up back in prison whilst on my spiritual journey. But all was not lost, because when I was in the prison, I actually was looking for answers through religion. I became Muslim. I felt like that was the right thing at the time. However, when I received loads of books, I received the Quran, and it just wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for deep stuff about, you know, reincarnation and the soul, and the Quran, when I looked at it, it didn't give me these kind of answers. So one of the books that I received was this strange orange book called the Bhagavad Gita, which I had no idea. I'd never read before. I didn't know the Hare Krishnas. I didn't know who Prabhupada was. It was one of the last books that I read because it looked quite strange, had a strange language, Sanskrit. I never heard of Sanskrit. And yeah, as I opened it, I was like, wow. It was giving me everything that I kind of was looking for in terms of the answers that I was looking for. And it wasn't until I came out and I came back to London, I bumped into a monk holding the Gita in his hand, and he said, come with me, and we walked to the temple together. And then I got invited to spend 7 days at the Bhaktivedanta Manor, if you know the temple, which I thought was going to be a holiday. I thought it was a 7-day holiday. Somebody told me it's going to like be a nice time, and I looked on Google and it was like beautiful gardens and stuff, and I was like, okay. And it was a course, a Be a Monk course. So it was a residential course that I spent 7 days living as a monk, you know, waking up early, and it really changed my life because it showed me that I was living wrong, basically. You know, all the relationships I had, the way I was living, everything that I was doing was kind of incorrect, you could say. And being introduced to the Hare Krishnas, I was like, wow, this is what life could be like, you know? So quickly after that, I started spending a few weekends at the Soho Temple in central London. But then lockdown came in 2020. So I kind of took a step back because there was no access to the Hare Krishnas at the time. And I thought I could do it on my own, you know? I was still in that mindset. I was like, okay, I can do this by myself. And I went through a really bad time. I went through a lot of suffering. And I slowly, things began to crumble, you know, on the path by myself. And I took a day trip to the manor again. And when I went there, I felt the magic. I felt the magic of the manor, and I asked if I could do the 7-day course again because I needed that magic. I wanted to relive that experience that I went through. And they invited me to do basically a longer course instead. So I recently just went back there in June this year, and I stayed there for like 2.5 months. And I didn't realize that how strong it would be. And Krishna keeps pulling me. I keep resisting, but Krishna keeps pulling me closer and closer. And I was given the opportunity to come to this 2-month trip. The rest of the guys here actually done a 6-month course, the Bhakti Shastri, where they studied the scriptures. I haven't because, I'm new, but Krishna wanted me to take this trip, and I understand why now. But yeah, just quickly want to say that in the West, we have a lot of things blocking us from spirituality. We have so much, I think you call it samskaras, anartas and stuff like that. Is that the right term? We have a lot of these things that are just stopping us from really connecting and being present and ultimately being of service. When now I've come to India, I realize that you guys are so connected. Like naturally, it's just like embedded in you guys to be connected. So you guys are very fortunate, and it's easy to be misguided by, we have access to the internet now, and we have see all these things of how life out there could be. But yeah, you guys are very fortunate that you're here, and you guys know so much about the scriptures and all the pastimes. And yeah, you should really honor this this gift that you have, that you were born into this body in this land, and do the best that you can to just remain in Krishna consciousness and keep chanting. So, Hare Krishna. Okay. Any questions?
What was the exact out-of-body experience that you...
I was going through some bad times, and I was going to go down the wrong path again. I was going to start selling drugs again. It's down to my last bit of money, and I had this plan, master plan, this genius plan to go and create this business, illegal business, and it all just went. It literally went down the toilet, literally down the toilet. And I was like, whoa, no. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, boom, I just was out there, looking at myself, my body was like this, but I was looking at myself, I was looking at my body from out there. So that's when I was I didn't know how long I was there for, I didn't know what was going on, but when I came back into my body, I wrote a note on my phone, whoa, bro, crazy experience. Yeah. Read the signs, because when I was there, I saw the error of my ways. I was shown what was going on and how I was misguided and going down the wrong path again. At the time, I couldn't see, because when you're in the mind and I was taken out, I was gifted for this experience to go out there, and I saw myself, and of course that introduced me to we're not the body straight away, because I was out there and my body was like this. Like a glove, a rubber glove, and you blow it up. That's us. The glove was deflated basically. So I was out there, and that's basically where it all started in 2018, where since then everything's changed, and I've been adopting a load of new practices, and I've definitely been picking up from past life or all of these things, because before this experience I was in pure ignorance, pure darkness, worse than the average person in England, and that's pretty bad because there's a lot of ignorance and darkness. But what I was saying about you guys are I feel more liberated and ready to serve. Me, I've got a lot of issues from the life that I lived, so I'm paying back a lot of karma for all the wrong decisions that I made. And a lot of things kind of prevent me from being able to truly serve and to be present. So you guys, I feel are in a good position to serve, because that's ultimately what this is all about. I'm working right now on purifying myself to hopefully a level that I'm able to serve freely. That's kind of what happened to me, the experience. Yeah.
It happened in very deep depression. You were
I was in dark place, very dark place. Yeah, that's where this stuff happens, and in the West, we're kind of lucky because, especially in England, there's a lot of darkness. So through the darkness comes the light. So, but you guys are already there. You guys are already there. You've done. I don't know. You guys are ready. Yeah. I'm aspiring to be like you guys, to be so humble and to serve like from the heart. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Radha Gopinath Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai. Wow.
Yeah, Aryan has more explanation. The rest, this Aryan word is not very easy to
The Aryan race.
It is
Yeah.
really like Hitler, you have to consider himself Aryan.
Yeah, just
What will happen? Somebody will come and snatch.
take, yeah. I'm from London, same.
Same thing. Oh, there
Same
also it
thing.
happens.
Yeah. The whole world.